All right. Hey, construction cronies. How's everybody doing? It's so weird being on site alone for the change. I haven't been alone on site for a long time. It's so quiet. And I can hear just my voice echoing in this 40-foot high building, right? Nuts. Just nuts. So yeah, you guys know what I'm doing. There's a couple things I guess I could show you here. I got some stuff prepped, so just kind of show you my process here. Tomorrow we're gonna have back to a full crew and starting on the bulkhead here. So yeah, that's to come. But yeah, just hit that like button for me if you don't mind. And let's get into it. Let me know who's watching, what you're watching from. If you have any questions, man, leave me a comment down below if you're watching on the replay, or you can ask me here in the live chat if you want me to show something or whatnot. If I miss it on this stream and I check the comments, I can actually go over it the next stream I do or something, you know what I mean? So let me turn the camera around. So if you remember, we were set up in here yesterday, so I got the restaurant at the front here cleaned out. Everything is spotless, right? You see how my sites are always spotless like this. It's important for lots of reasons: logistics, safety, and just overall professionalism, right? I'm going to show you once the other trades start going how dirty they are, okay? Because I'm going to clean up after my trade, but I'm not cleaning up after the other trades. So yeah, I'll show you the difference. It's gonna be, you'll see. It's gonna be kind of funny. So yeah, you can see we have this overhang for the bulkhead, and there's like a 3'8" parapet going on top of there. So what I'm gonna do for the parapet running this backside, I'm gonna rip like a 17-inch piece of plywood, or pieces of plywood, and screw them down to the studs there, right? So we can then put our 3 5/8 track on the plywood, and we don't have to build a bunch of like metal clips, if you know what I mean. Then I'm gonna have to put a 1-foot piece of drywall along the front, obviously 6-inch where they're just 6 inches. And so it doesn't get covered by the overhang, because it's going to come out 2.5 or 2 feet down and in, and then back up. There'll be a 3-inch gap along the backside for LED lighting. So that's the idea there. So along here, you're basically just gonna, I would just put a piece of a track, whatever, screwed out this way, or even, I don't know, maybe like stick out this track out here and run studs this way. I don't know, we'll figure it out. We're gonna build this part out 2 feet and then drop our bulkhead in, and it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come down, over, and back up. So we got to make sure there's like a little strip of drywall on the inside of the bulkhead this way and this way, right? We don't want to get closed off. So that's what I'm doing. Hey, what's up, Bob? How you doing, brother? Yeah, best wishes to you too, my man. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Got all the channel is in. All this gets insulated, so all the wall channel is in. Headers are in. We have both change rooms 100% framed now, ready for plumbing and electrical, and if there's any mechanical, there's not much, but we're ready for the trades. Plumbers are actually supposed to start today, and we were ready for them today, but they never showed up, so that's typical, I guess. But coming down over here, you can kind of see how I'm getting my tracks ready. Oh man, I got a clamp up there. I got to go up there and get that. But installing my clips up there to pick up the top track on one end, and I'm putting clips over here to like 2 on these guys, because there's they're shorter walls, if you see what I mean. But how I cut my tracks, I do it on the ground. Cut the 5 3/4 inch tab over for 6-inch, right? So this will overhang this wall. And then 20 gauge is a lot like light gauge, so you can do the same kind of thing, right? Cutting a fishtail, and then I put it on a stud to keep it straight. So, and then I put the 2 screws in each side there to stop it from flopping. But you literally just put a stud upside down, okay? So, and then you put the tracks over top of it, okay, and screw down. and then take the stud off, and then you put the studs in the side so that the track doesn't bend this way. But when you cap it over like this with the fishtail and put your 4 screws in, it stops it from warping this way. Okay, so it's perfectly straight. That's a nice little trick. So then you kind of see I'm pre-doing my size. So this one here, I'll have a 5 3/4 tab over this wall and one on the other end on this side. Okay, so it'll be hung up like that. And I've also I've shot a clip to the beam up there as well, to come just like, you know, a 1/4 inch from the end. But yeah, it sticks out from the beam to the front. The track is 8 inches, so 1 3/4. Catch it. This stuff is all in the way, of course. The thermostat, the conduit's all in the way, of course, of that one. So all that junk has to be moved, right? But yeah, literally overlapping my tracks. Okay, so this one here overlaps this one 5 3/4, and then I got my 6 3/4 inch lip, right? So the drywall can pass in as well, and then it'll overlap on that side. So that's how I get that ready. I don't normally do more than 20 feet, right? So I got 2 20-foot sections prepped for this long wall, okay, with the fishtail on this side, all ready to go, okay. And yeah, I've cut 3 feet off of the first track so that I've pre-planned it so that none of the fishtails or anything interfere with the 16s, with the centers, right? So that's how I do that. I put it on the ground, just kind of pre-plan that so that I don't have any issues with the studs going in. And then, yeah, simple as that. I've cut this end fishtail a little bit bigger just in case I need to adjust the end piece a little bit, right? So obviously it's you know, it's got to all overlap, so it will work out when it's done, right? At least I hope so. Did I cut that? I might have cut that wrong. It looks like I might have cut it a little too big. That's not a big deal. We can fix that later. But this track has to come back a little bit, and then it overlaps 2, 4. So, oh no, it might be okay. 2, 4. So I got at least a foot there, I think. Or yeah, we're good. I cut that right. Got my box beam pre-made. So these are my clips, 5 3/4 inch clip for the bottom, and then the smaller clip for the top. And that's the ledge. Okay, it's already pre-made. So that's for the piecework crew coming in. We'll put all those up in the morning, and then we're gonna start the you can kind of see how I do the box beams there, right? So I got that heavy gauge angle on the bottom and the top, and you can kind of see how I'm building my box beams, right, with the track, and then an upside down track. Some guys don't put 2 tracks on the top, but I find it makes them way, like, just so much better. Like, they're way more square when you do it that way. Hey, Donan, what, Denon. Oh man, how do you say this? So it would be Denon. Yeah, awesome, cool name, man. Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. So what we're doing is they're going to be 4x10, like it's like a polycarbonate sheet, clear sheeting going in there. So I've got an RO for 3/4 inch plywood all the way around, 5/8 drywall all the way around. Mac, oh, you got it. No problem, brother. No problem. Cheers. And then, of course, I'm going to tape it, return it, and then the the polycarbonate sheet will go in, and then I can use corner round or whatever just to put, just to hold it in there, and that'll be super strong. I'll just use like brat nails type thing, okay, with a nailer, and it'll look sick. But yeah, then the ceiling detail and everything, and parapet detail, is going to get a little hairy on the front here, but I got it all worked out, of course. And yeah, just with these box beams, just make sure if you're putting them in an insulated wall to pre-insulate them, right? So you don't like you don't get screwed trying to stuff it in after the fact. Okay, you should probably insulate them before you put the top track on. But yeah, it's looking nice and clean. You see, like this is how I like to do how I like to keep my jobs, always clean and organized. It's just the way to be, right? It's just a professional way to be. That's all. But yeah, I'm waiting on trades mostly. It would be really nice if we had some more details for this restaurant. Because yeah, there's like just details that we're missing, and the HVAC guys need to get up there, and it's just like a pain in the butt, like waiting on trades to trying to figure out what you got to leave out pieces and stuff, right? It sucks. So, and then of course the painter, I've been bugging him for a month to just get a painter so that this would get painted before we put the ceiling in, but yeah, it's not done yet. But if anything, like I said, you could put plywood up there and walk on it. It's all 18 gauge structural steel, so it's strong. So back here is 2-foot centers because we have T-bar ceiling in the kitchen, so it's basically just for hanger wire. You know what I mean? So that's all that is. So just for the T-bar. Hey man, what's up? Is it possible to do an arch doorway with steel studs? Oh yeah, check this out. I got one right here, man. This one's a big one, but of course it is. So there's a new track now. It's a flex track, and it makes it a lot easier. But basically, like I was saying, what you do is you find center, okay, and you laser up the center stud, and you laser in your two sides, boom and boom, and it all works out. So this is oh god, what is this? I think a 7-foot opening. So my end studs are 3 feet. My middle stud is 16 inches, so 1.5 feet. Okay, and those are your important ones to get those ones done. And then what I'll do is I put my line laser and I work my way from the center out. So I'll go from this guy to this guy and this guy, and I'll laser the points in, okay, and measure my stud height, okay. And it's how it works out is it's always nice and square. So if the distance from this to there is always the same from there to there, and the top should always on both sides should always be the same if you have a proper arch, okay. So if something's off, then you gotta find an adjustment. But yeah, basically I work from here, there, and then I go into the middle here beside the center and do those two. And then the last one, I do these two long ones on the end, and it's like boop, boop, boop. And everything, like I said, the number should be the same on both sides. Well, we used to use a machine called a track bender. I don't know if it bends it that way. You could also cut your track, you square it across, okay, every 2 inches, okay. I go maybe 2 inches, 1.5 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. But yeah, you can just cut your tabs, okay. So let me kind of show you. Oh yeah, don't want to forget my thing. Oh, my tools are all the way. But for example, if you just take this track and you're marking every 2 inches, okay, you take your square it across, boom, boom, okay, and then just take your snips and cut the tabs on both sides, boom, boom, and that'll also bend that way. So yeah, man, that's how you would do it if you didn't have that track, and you might be surprised. Yeah, relief cuts for the bending, 100%, yeah. What is the allowance tolerance on placement of walls? Well, normally it's always 3/4 inch, right? So deflection is always 3/4 inch. So now when we're doing this sort of thing where it's not floor to underside of structure, we go 1/2 inch, right? You always go up 1/2 inch. So the dry, see, it's tough too, because when you think about it, the flooring is going to be 1/2 inch, okay. The sheets are 12 foot, right? And so you're going to put like 1/2 inch or 5/8 on the ceiling, and then you got 1/2 inch for the floor. You got to cut a half inch or 5/8 or 3/4 of an inch off the drywall, which really sucks. So if you're lucky, right, you can drywall this, then put the floor in. That's how I would do it, right? So you would do the ceiling, and then you have that 1/2 inch clearance to do your walls, and then the floor. But if the floor goes in, for example, at first, then you're cutting the drywall when you don't want to do that. So just make sure you got the process. No, you gotta be like, it will bend. You just gotta be careful with it. And the same thing when you're dealing with this track too, right? This flex track, you gotta be careful because it bends. It bends this way and this way. Oh, for crap! What? Every damn time I'm streaming, she calls me. Jesus. Whew. But no, give it a go. Just give her a go, man. And cut like those pieces, like watch your lengths. Okay, so 10-foot piece of track is 10 feet. For crying out loud. And like these that come in, I think they're 97-inch lengths, right? So they're 1 inch longer than 8 feet. So just watch your lengths, because keep it that's a 7-foot opening, right? So and we have an 8-foot track kind of thing, but it's an inch. It's a 8 foot 1 inch. So just draw it on paper, right? And if you have grid paper, it's awesome, grid paper, and you literally every square is a foot or whatever. Like you'll be laughing. So, but no, man, that's that, right? So you can see the married studs up there. Okay, that's we had a little extra on the end, so instead of cutting studs, right, we just married them and overlapped them. But yeah, you can see, right, it curves nicely either way. It's just you gotta, I always draw it on the floor and then bend my tracks on the floor, right? So, oh man, but I'm so sorry, I gotta cut it short. I just got a message. I have an emergency. I have to get going. But you guys, if you guys have any questions I missed or whatnot, leave me a comment down below or whatnot, and I'll get back to you. If you guys have any serious problems, you can email me, chris@constructionkronies.com. I'm sorry I have to run. It's an emergency, so I got to go take care of that. Lamb, Bob, Mac, everyone, thanks for coming. And if you don't mind, hit that like button for me on your way out. I'm sorry I have to cut this short, but I gotta go. Okay, bye for now, guys. Crap. You too, brother. You too, Mac. Cheers, guys.